it's Kyle coming to you from my basement. Still recording on this Blue Nessie mic, which is fine. This mic is awesome. I just have to move things around every time I want to record, but then wham boo-hoo. But yeah. So what a week, huh? I don't know how your guys' week was, but mine's been insane. The good news is we got through last week, and there was a lot going on last week. I mean, it was pretty crazy, and just so much happening. It just seemed like it would never end. It was just nonstop, one thing after the other. But, we got through it. And, things that things that are going good for me, or things that I'm happy about that are happening right now. Again, we got through last week. I mean, there were multiple concerts, for choir, for bands. There was swim meet. There was volleyball practice, and there was an Eagle project, Eagle Scout project, which took place on Saturday, and we got it done. It's amazing to me because it didn't seem like it was going to get finished. I'll be 100% honest. My son is so busy. It's like it never stops. I mean, he's always running, doing something. And, my daughter's a lot that way as well. But it's a little bit different. Anyway, regardless. Yeah. So what the Eagle Project was there is a camp nearby that has all kinds of different campers throughout the different seasons of camping. And one group that they will have on occasion is disabled children. And so there is a walking path or trail that is all wood planks, basically. Goes around lots of different ways, a circle and then in and out. And it's actually pretty complex. So what my son had decided to do was there is a specific section. He and I went out and looked at this all and decided that there was a specific section that really was in need of some repair. It was really in pretty bad shape. The boards were rough, and in addition to that, there was a bench in this area that had just kind of rotted, the legs falling off of it, that kind of stuff. And so what we decided is we would repair some boards along this straightaway, this one area of this path, and pull out. There were 2x4s in there, and so for every the person that we worked with who's at the camp there said, you'd pull out 3 2x4s and you'd put down 2 2x6s. Makes sense. 12 inches, right? Didn't quite work that way. Those boards are never exactly 6 inches or 4 inches or 2 inches, but they were all 4 foot long. We did make sure to get them cut that way. And then as far as the bench goes, I found, to me, it looked like one major problem was the wood. So, those wood legs and everything, while it was a well-made bench, they're going to rot. They're going to warp. I mean, they were 4x4s, I think, the 4 legs were. So I kind of looked around and I found a composite fiberglass / plastic. It's a little bit of both. Bench kit. And so those are the legs. And so then all you have to do is buy some 2x4s and assemble. And so that's what we did, And so there's a new bench there as well. There's all the walkway is cleared first off because it was way overgrown because it had been in disrepair for a while. But all that's cleared up so people can kind of get through there. And then in addition to that, there's a new bench in that area. So, kids with their wheelchairs and stuff can get through there now and utilize this pathway again. So pretty awesome stuff. And, he's got a few more I's to dot and T's to cross as far as his Eagle Scout goes. He's got a few more things to get signed off on and that kind of deal. But, it's happening. It looks like it's all going to come true, and he'll get his Eagle award, and that's good. That's really good for him, especially going into college and eventually looking for jobs someday, that kind of thing. So very, very, very pleased with that. Very happy. And in addition to that, last week, my daughter swam some different races. She doesn't usually swim a lot of freestyle, So many people swim freestyle. But she came to us and expressed that she wanted to do the 500 meters freestyle, which that's about a third of a mile, just so you guys know. And so one consistent race, it's a 25-meter pool, so 50 meters is a lap, so 10 times that, so 10 laps. And yeah, so she swam it for the first time ever, and I'll be darned if she didn't do pretty good. I mean, in that heat, granted, there was only one heat for this race, but she did get second in that heat. So that's pretty remarkable. And then she also swam the 50-meter freestyle, which she swam in the very first heat because they didn't really have a time for her yet. So they'll stick people in the first heat when that's the case. So the heats, the higher competition is in the later heats. The early heats typically are the slower speed swimmers. And so there were 3 heats. She was in the first heat, but she ended up getting the best time in those first 2 heats. And then she also easily could have been in that third heat with the time that she had. So, wow, And then at the very end, she actually swam in a relay. She swam in a 4x100 freestyle relay, too. She did pretty good in there, but she was definitely pretty exhausted by that point. And then we packed up and she went to volleyball practice for an hour and a half. I know, man. I know. It's insane. That kid is next level. Same thing's happening today, actually, recording this Tuesday morning. But she has a swim meet this evening. And then after that swim meet, she has... Actually, it's really not volleyball practice. They're doing a short 1 hour practice, but then they're having kind of a volleyball team holiday party. So she's going to that for about an hour and a half. And by she's going to that, I mean, we're going to that, her and I. So yeah, so both these kids are just so busy, man. But it is awesome to see them achieve these things, and I'll have some photographs up in the notes. You guys can go take a look at. It's got a little bit of everything in there, including the Eagle project completion. So pretty cool. All right, what am I into right now? So what have I been listening to? Nothing really new. I talked to you guys about that Rad album. I'm kind of waiting in the wings here for Christmas. I'm hoping that there'll be a few records on the horizon there. I think I have a good idea of one box set that might be in there, and I'm pretty excited about that. But, pretty much just the same stuff I've been listening to for a long time. Again, I'm kind of going through that, listening to that hair metal type stuff again that I grew up with. That's about it. Nothing more to say there. Let's see. What have I been watching? Told you guys about the World War II documentary. Really not much. Nothing really too different from what I talked with you guys about last time. There are some things that I'm interested in watching. Again, I hope that's something Santa Claus brings to me. There's a very specific movie that's never really been reprinted in the United States on DVD. I guess it has been on a DVD before, but never on Blu-ray or 4K Blu-ray, called Dersu Uzala. It's my very favorite, one of my favorite films, but definitely my favorite Kurosawa film. And I'm hoping there's an international version of that also arrives for me to watch. I love that movie. But I mean, other than that, I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, there's some things I'm kind of interested in seeing. Like I said, I would see Wonka. but I mean, we can do better. I do want to see Poor Things. I think I talked to you guys about that as well. And then been hearing a lot of rumblings about Nosferatu. So Robert Eggers, who made Witch and The Lighthouse and Northman, has been working on a film. I don't know if primary shooting is finished yet, but it's a remake of Nosferatu, the very famous F.W. Murnau film from the silent era, I think 1921. What it is basically Dracula, but they couldn't afford the rights to Bram Stoker's Dracula. The family wouldn't let him have the rights, so they he made his own version of it. It's Dracula, though. But yeah, I mean, it looks, and it's a very spooky looking old movie, for a movie from that long ago, over 100 years now. And it's been remade once. Definitely. If you've not seen Werner Herzog's remake with Klaus Kinski as the Nosferatu, then yeah, Count Orlok, I think is his name. And that's creepy looking too. That's really weird. But what they have now is they have the same exact actor, Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise in the It films, who did such a great job in those movies. He is now going to play Nosferatu, and there's a few images out there of him, and it's remarkable. I mean, it's remarkable looking. So I'm very excited about that film. I guess Salem's Lot, the remake of Salem's Lot, is going to go directly to streaming, so that won't be in the theaters. Mikey and I have kind of been talking about that one a little bit too. And then some other things that are happening. The guy who played Kang, Jonathan Majors, I think is his name. He played Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man, Quantumania. He has been found guilty in his criminal trial for violence against his ex when they broke up and everything. So immediately Marvel/Disney cut ties with that guy, which is a big bummer for them, because I do know that the Avengers films that are coming up, Kang was the big baddie for a while here. And I know that, the next Avengers film was primarily about Kang and how he was trying to destroy everything. So who knows what they're going to do at this point. Mikey and I have actually been talking about that a little bit today or yesterday, I mean, and he brought up a good point, man. Why don't they just do Doctor Doom? And I agree, man. This Fantastic Four film that's coming, they got to get that sucker knocked out. And if you create that, then you have your baddie for a whole series of films. But, they've had such bad luck, and they've done such a bad job with the Fantastic Four that it's no surprise they're a little leery of creating another Fantastic Four film, because the last couple outings have been pretty atrocious. Actually, every outing has been atrocious. So I'm even counting the old Roger Corman one from the 90s. But anyway, so that's kind of what's going on with movies. I mean, nothing too crazy that I'm really like, oh, I got to watch this. I did start the series called The Pacific, which is, if you've ever seen Band of Brothers from HBO, I consider that to be like the best TV show ever made. But they made another show, kind of a spin-off of that, called The Pacific, which is all about the war in Pacific against the Japanese. And so that's what this is. I've only watched the first episode, but it's pretty remarkable. Looking forward to finishing that series out. And I hear there's a third one coming too, but I'm trying to remember who was telling me about it, but I think it's about fighter pilots during World War II, which should be pretty interesting as well. Let's see. What have I been reading? I mean, not much. There's the same old thing as far as comics go. I mean, nothing really new there. I won't gripe about the Kindle app because there's really no point in it. But I did read up on Antarctica. I'm almost caught up on that one. Started up Blade again. I'm going to try and get through those. I think there's 6 books of that right now. And then I really do need to get caught up on some Moon Knight as well. But nothing else really too new out there. There is a graphic novel that I had ordered a hardback, and I actually found out that wasn't supposed to ship till like February, I believe, but it's actually shipped early now, so it'll be here today at some point, which is great. I'm looking forward to that. The Hard Switch is what it's called, and sorry, you can hear me clicking there on my mouse, but it's pretty wild. It's definitely science fiction. It looks very interesting, but it's a beautiful artwork. I'm very interested in that kind of artwork. So we'll see how that book is. I think it's only got 1 rating and 5 stars, so it must be pretty solid. Hopefully that's not the author writing his own deal. Yeah, January. It was supposed to deliver between January 5th and 8th, so it came out a little early. Yeah, it'll be here today, so that would be the 19th. And that's about it on reading. Games, nothing. No point to even mention it. Flick Solitaire is about all I'm doing there. And then podcasts, pretty much the same stuff I've been talking about for a while. That Run Fool podcast I really like a lot. That's the new one by Mr. Baldwin's podcast. Radio Rentals got a couple new ones. Real Survival Stories, fantastic. Kind of fallen out of love with Downrange, but who knows? I might get back into it. And then that Who Killed JFK, that's a good one as well. I need to get a little deeper in that. But yeah, I mean, really, that's it, guys. And there's not a whole lot of information that I have for you besides that. I do apologize for that, but that's just kind of how it is. At this point, we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants here and trying to get into Christmas and get past Christmas into New Year. We were going to go out and go to a kind of a fun, fancy New Year's event and stay at a nearby hotel, but we decided not to just because the knee surgery there hasn't been enough recovery for the missus when it comes to that knee surgery. So it's going to be a little bit longer. No biggie. I do have my passport in motion also. We are getting that going. And so we're looking forward to that big trip coming up in the new year as well. That's it, guys. That's all I have right now. I'm probably going to go ahead and take a week off next week. After all, I did take a week off of work, right? So I probably will go ahead and take a week off of the podcast. Not 100% sure on that. I may want to do it just because. It depends on what happens and how much free time I got. But I imagine I'll be running around a lot. But I am looking forward to a week off, man, from work, and that'll be fun. But I appreciate you guys listening. Keep on keeping on. I hope you guys all have a fantastic holiday, Christmas time. I do say happy holidays. It's not because I'm anti-Christmas. It's because I realize there's more than one religion on this planet. But and I was married to a Jewish woman right out of college, so I'm very aware that there are other holidays around this time of the year. It's not that I'm woke, even though being woke is not a negative in my opinion. But hey, whatevs. Yeah. So you guys have a great holiday season. I hope everything goes well. I hope you get everything you asked Santa for. And I will catch you guys in the new year. Thank you so much for listening. And as a New Year's resolution, if you would, get off my lawn.